Struggling to keep the lights on? Discover the essential steps to get crucial help for your electric bill in Louisiana right now. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a topic that stresses out so many of us, but honestly, it doesn't have to be overwhelmingly complicated. We're talking about navigating Louisiana's energy assistance programs. So whether you're a renter, a homeowner, or maybe just looking out for an elderly neighbor, we're going to break down exactly what resources are actually out there and, more importantly, how you can access them.
Look, we know that rising utility costs can create an incredible amount of stress, and trying to figure out exactly where to turn for help, well, that can easily feel like a full-time job. But stick with me, because by the end of this explainer, you'll have a really clear, actionable roadmap to navigate these systems and claim the financial relief you absolutely deserve.
Before we start looking at solutions, it really helps to see what's actually driving up that terrifying final number on your bill. Basically, there are two main factors at play here. First is the actual energy you use, which is measured in kilowatt hours. When the Louisiana weather gets extreme, whether it's that intense summer heat or a sudden winter freeze, your heating and cooling systems just have to work overtime and your usage spikes. The second factor is the cost of the fuel used to generate that power. Now, this is a direct pass-through cost from the utility companies to you, meaning it's based on a fluctuating market rate that, unfortunately, you simply cannot control.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our agenda for today. We'll start with a quick introduction to energy assistance. Then we'll cover state and federal programs, followed by utility and community resources. After that, we'll look at lowering your energy usage, navigating the application process, and wrap the whole thing up with a summary and some important disclaimers. Section 1. Introduction to Energy Assistance. Let's get a handle on the system. You see, this whole complex web of assistance programs is designed to solve a very specific problem, known as the energy burden. This term describes the situation when a household struggles to afford basic subsistence utility costs just for heating and cooling, requiring financial intervention. This is exactly why these assistance programs exist in the first place. The overarching goal of organizations like the Louisiana Housing Corporation is to ensure safe, affordable, and energy-efficient housing for all Louisiana residents. Section 2. State and federal programs. Let's look at the biggest safety nets out there.
So you're going to hear two major acronyms thrown around when you're looking for help, LIHEP and WAP. It's really vital to understand the difference. LIHEP, which stands for the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, provides short-term financial help paid directly to your utility bill, and your eligibility is based on the state median income. Now, WAP, the Weatherization Assistance Program, is an entirely different beast. It offers long-term structural weatherization upgrades to your home, and its eligibility is based on the federal poverty level. Looking right here at the specific LIHEP income limits for Louisiana, the cap is set at 60% of the state median income. So for a single person, your gross monthly income must be at or below $2,551. For a family of four, it's $4,906. This slide brilliantly illustrates the specific limits so you can quickly check your own eligibility without having to do any complicated math. Now, when we look at the actual grants, it's pretty substantial. You can receive up to $800 for regular heating and cooling or up to $1,000 for a crisis assistance grant. But you know what the absolute most crucial detail is here? Louisiana has no asset limit for LIHEP. That means having a modest savings account for emergencies won't penalize you when you're applying for this aid. Just keep in mind, you do need to have an active utility account.
Section 3. Utility and Community Resources. Moving on to your secondary safety nets.
Right. So if you don't qualify for LIHEP, or maybe if you've already exhausted that benefit for the year, we shift our focus. These are specific initiatives operated directly by your utility company and through local charities. So listen closely for the name of the company that sends your monthly bill. SWEPCO partners with the Dollar Energy Fund to offer the Neighbor to Neighbor program. Energy administers a program called the Power to Care, and CLECO offers the CLECO Care program as well as the Power of Sharing Fund.
To give you a realistic idea of how these utility programs function, really as a fund of last resort, let's look at SWEPCO's Neighbor to Neighbor program. $200. That is the maximum grant an applicant may receive per program year under this specific initiative. So it's really meant to bridge the gap in extreme hardships, not to pay your bill indefinitely.
So the crucial point here is understanding the very specific operational constraints of your provider so you can manage your expectations. For instance, SWEPCO actually requires you to have made a sincere effort payment of at least $100 in the last 3 months, or $75 if you're a senior, just to apply. Energy offers a senior discount program that completely waives the $10 monthly customer charge for low-income seniors.
And CLECO automatically enrolls LIHEAP recipients into their CARE program, which gives them a 25% discount on the fuel portion of their bill.
Beyond the utility companies themselves, nonprofit lifelines are out there, but they definitely have unique rules. The Salvation Army, for example, often requires you to have an active disconnection notice in hand before they can intervene. Catholic Charities in North Louisiana requires applicants to complete a financial education program they call Money School before receiving any aid. And organizations like the United Way act as vital partners to actually process applications for programs like Energy's Power to Care. Keep in mind, these community resources depend heavily on seasonal grant availability, so they aren't always guaranteed.
Section 4. Lowering your energy usage. Let's talk about stopping high bills before they start.
And this brings us right back to the Weatherization Assistance Program, or WAP. Remember, this is the long-term federal program. Instead of just paying your bill for a month, WAP pays for allowable structural upgrades to your home. This includes things like adding thick insulation, comprehensively air sealing the home to stop those nasty drafts, repairing or entirely replacing highly inefficient HVAC systems, and sealing up leaky ductwork.
Now, because these are permanent physical upgrades, WAP prioritizes the elderly, persons with disabilities, and families with young children. I will say there are strict rules. There is a 15-year wait period between uses on a single property, and if you are a renter, you absolutely must secure your landlord's approval first. But the payoff? It's immense. These upgrades can cut your annual heating and cooling costs by up to 10% every single year.
Section 5. Navigating the application process. Time for the action-oriented roadmap. Okay, here are your 3 simple steps to actually get this money applied to your account. First, check your income eligibility based on the tables we looked at earlier. Second, gather your documents. And listen, this is where most people get stuck. You need a valid photo ID, your most recent utility bill, and comprehensive proof of income for everyone in the household. Gathering exact proof of income is the most critical hurdle you'll face. Third, you will apply either through the Louisiana Housing Corporation's online portal or through your local community action agency.
Honestly, the absolute best first step you can take today is just making a simple phone call directly to your utility provider. For example, if you have SWEPCO, call them at 1-888-216-3523. These companies have dedicated teams that can unlock immediate guidance on which specific local community action agencies you should visit to start the intake process. It takes all the guesswork out of it.
Section 6. Summary and important disclaimers. Let's recap and set realistic expectations.
When it comes to LIHEAP, timing is literally everything. The heating program runs from November 15th to March 15th. The cooling program runs from April 1st to September 30th. Now, while crisis assistance is evaluated year-round, you really must understand that funding for all these programs is strictly dispersed on a first-come, first-served basis. When the money for the season runs out, the program closes, so you must apply early.
Now, a quick disclaimer. Keep in mind that program policies, income limits, and funding availability constantly evolve. For instance, state online application portals sometimes close without warning due to volume, which might require a physical visit to your local agency to process a crisis claim. You should always consult directly with your local community action agency or a financial advisor to get the most current information for your unique situation.
So we leave you with this. What step will you take today to reduce your energy burden? Don't wait for that disconnect notice to show up in the mail. Pick up the phone, check your utility bill, or visit your local agency right now. And beyond today's bill, how might understanding these systems change the way we advocate for affordable energy in our communities long term? The help is out there. You just have to take that first step to claim it.